Cảm ơn quý vị vẫn giữ làn sóng SPTN. Quý vị đang theo dõi chương trình Luật Pháp và Xã hội với Nguyễn Ngọc Diệu và tổ hợp luật sư Đỗ Phủ và Anh Tuấn. Hồi nãy là quý vị cũng thấy luật sư anh Tuấn cùng với Ngọc Diệu phỏng vấn ông Baytieh. Và bây giờ trong phòng thầu của chúng tôi có mặt của luật sư Đỗ Phủ. Ngọc Diệu kính chào luật sư Đỗ Phủ.
Vâng, xin kính chào quý vị khán giả đài truyền hình SPTN. Chào Ngọc Diệu và hi potential judge Baytieh.
Thank you.
Well, here's your friend.
He is
your
my friend.
classmate, right?
He is my friend. He's been my friend for over 25 years.
25 years,
Yes.
28 years, right? When you went to law school together.
That's correct.
Như chúng tôi có nói hồi lúc đầu là luật sư Anh Tuấn và luật sư Đỗ Phủ có học chung với ông ở trong Western Law School hồi năm 1998, phải không thưa luật sư Đỗ Phủ?
Yes.
1996. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one question since he here. You used to go to in the same class with Attorney Đỗ Phủ. How was he? Was he good as a student?
He was as good back then as he is now.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
yes. His
Thank
jokes are
you.
much funnier now, but he was great back then too.
Thank you. He is.
Yeah.
He's a great lawyer in a community.
Absolutely. He's a great community leader. He's somebody that a lot of people look up to. And I'm very, very grateful to be his friend. And I'm very honorable. He's a very honorable man, and I'm very grateful for our friendship.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, let's talk about that. You're running for judge.
Yes.
And may I ask why?
You know, I've been a prosecutor for 25 years. I believe in our community. I believe that our community gets better when you have people from different backgrounds that are able to give back. And I want to continue to give back as a judge. I've been giving to our community as a prosecutor. I want to continue to give back to our community as a judge. I think it is important for people to look at our bench and see people from different backgrounds. I'm proud to be an immigrant. I am proud of the fact that I immigrated to this country that allowed me to continue to work hard and to succeed. Our community will benefit from having people on the bench with different backgrounds. Diversity is good. Diversity is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Our country and our community is better by having people like us from different backgrounds be able to give back in different capacities. I am going to continue to work hard, and I believe in my heart that I can continue to contribute and give back to our community as an immigrant, being able to sit on the bench as a judge.
Great.
Những gì mà anh Baytieh nói đó là tóm tắt lại là một người tị nạn như chúng ta và một người di dân. Tất cả mọi người chúng ta thì mang tất cả những kinh nghiệm trong cái cộng đồng của mình, cái cuộc sống của mình vô trong cái công việc mà làm quan tòa, nó chắc chắn là để cho cái sự thông cảm mình có nhiều hơn. Cũng như là tại vì anh đã từng làm biện lý hơn 25 năm vừa qua, cho nên với những cái kinh nghiệm biện lý cũng như đi tranh cãi ngoài tòa đó, anh sẽ mang những cái đó vô trong với cộng đồng mình. Nhưng mà cái mà quan trọng nhất mà tôi nghĩ là của một người quan tòa quan trọng nhất là còn cần có compassion. Compassion là sự thông cảm đó. Một người mà không có compassion đó, thì chỉ là một cái máy thôi, học có giỏi mấy mà không có compassion. I believe one of the most important thing of a judge or any human being is compassion. Especially, you can be a great student in law school and write great research paper and be as sharp as nail in your analyzing of things. But if you don't have compassion, I mean, you can't be fair. I mean, compassion is what makes us human. What do you think about that? I think Ebrahim, Mr. Baytieh here, have all that because he came from such a diverse background. He came from the Middle East. Look, we don't have any Middle Eastern judge in Orange County right now. That tells us something about this community, right? So we need to have a diverse judges background of people of all walks of life. And Mr. Baytieh is going to be the first Middle Eastern judge in Orange County. We don't have anyone yet. We have Asian, we have a lot of judges, but he's the first one. And with this diverse background, so it's so important that we speak that we respect him as a very capable attorney. We respect him as he's doing his job. He was named one of the best, prosecutor of the year, and
Very
so
impressed.
It's ability. Okay, I'm talking about ability. But now let's go beyond that ability. We need someone coming in from a diverse background, as our country should be and our county should be. You're the first one.
And I'm with your help and with all your help, I'm grateful, and I'm going to try my best to be the first Lebanese American, Arab American elected to the bench in Orange County. But you are right, compassion is important. You can't be a human being. You can't be fair without having compassion. You have to understand that human beings have circumstances that they get in, whether defendants or victims, and you have to be compassionate. You have to be fair. You have to follow the law. You have to be reasonable. But you can't be any of that without having a sense of compassion.
The thing is, many people say that, I don't like judge because he has no compassion. All he does is just according to the law. From 1 to 10, if you get into one of those, you're done. You go to jail. How do you think about that?
My answer to that is that our laws require judges, require prosecutors to take into account the fact that you're dealing with human beings. And you can't do that without having compassion, right? Holding somebody responsible and giving somebody a second chance, these are not two mutually exclusive principles. You can believe in responsibility, you can believe in accountability, while at the same time being compassionate and giving people second chances. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for second chances, I wouldn't be here today sitting and talking to you. So we have to be compassionate, we have to be fair, we have to live up to the laws that require people to have certain conduct, but we have to do it in a compassionate, reasonable, fair way.
Đó là vấn đề mà anh Baytieh nói ra, là anh phát biểu, anh có sự thông cảm, cái sự thông cảm con người với nhau là quan trọng nhất. Dĩ nhiên luật là luật và chúng ta phải làm luật, nhưng mà là một người quan tòa đó, là con người đó, là cái sự cảm thông đó nó không nhất thiết là lúc nào cũng chỉ biết tới luật thôi. Và hai điều đó không có nghĩa nó bị mâu thuẫn với nhau. Và cái sự mà tin tưởng của anh là tất cả những cái chuyện đó chúng ta đều, con người chúng ta đều làm được, áp dụng cái sự compassion, cái sự cảm thông với nhau vô trong công việc làm, vô trong công việc làm là người quan tòa, nó sẽ đẩy mạnh lên cái sự mà mình là một người quan tòa tốt.
Is your background within 25 years in court? You have been dealing with criminal homicide, the order that. But I have hear anything you mentioned about civil. So what do you think about that?
I'm glad you asked me this question because it is very important to understand that our justice system is not just about people committing crimes. It's about also people saying, I've been wronged and I would like somebody to help me in a civil matter, right? So I absolutely believe that all the habits that I developed as a prosecutor, my work ethic, my compassion, my willingness to be civil and to listen is going to help me if I get assigned, if I'm fortunate to be elected to a civil assignment. People have a right to come to court and say, I was wronged civilly, and I would like to have the other party be held accountable. And as a judge, if I am assigned to work in a civil matter, my commitment is that I will be civil in a sense that I will allow the attorneys to try their cases, I will listen to them, I will work very hard to learn this new area. I am able to take everything, the habits that I developed as a criminal prosecutor, and apply those in the same way in a civil matter to allow the attorneys, whether they're plaintiffs or defendants, defense attorneys, to try their cases, to present the facts that help their client. And I will be fair, and I will listen, and I will follow the law.
Một trong những chuyện mà quan trọng nhất là cô Ngọc Diệu vừa mới hỏi xong, đó là Ngọc Diệu hỏi anh Baytieh là với cái anh làm 25 năm nay là biện lý, nhưng mà không thấy có cái sự thiếu sót đây là cái sự mà thiếu sót về xử những hồ sơ dân sự, tức là civil đó. Thì anh nói là anh sẽ ráng để anh học và đồng thời sẽ đối xử với mọi người với cái quyền căn bản mà vấn đề hình sự anh sẽ mang qua để xử vấn đề dân sự. So one of the most important thing people in civil look for a judge who hearing this story. So I just heard that you're willing to apply that same experience with the criminal matter to, civil. That's going to be a learning process because there's different rulings and then there's different setting, right? And I noticed that when I go to court, you and I go to court, and the judge always treat, in terms of calendaring, we use priority for the criminal matters, and we push over the civil trial. But do you have a belief that you respect the attorney right to try their cases, with you being a judge?
Absolutely, and I'm going to tell you why. Because a litigant in a civil case has a right to expect that he or she will going to have their day in court, and delaying justice is not going to help anybody. As you know, statutorily, certain cases will have priority over other cases. Cases where the victim is a child, cases where the victim is an elderly. So you got to take that into account. But I absolutely believe in civil cases, just like in criminal cases, litigants have a right to have their cases decided in a fair way and in a prompt way. And to the extent that I'm able to do that, I'm going to work as hard as I can to learn these new rules, but to make sure that the plaintiffs and the defendants are treated fairly and they're getting their day in court.
Một trong chuyện mà tôi tin là chuyện dân sự có thể áp dụng qua vấn đề hình sự, và những người mà đòi cái quyền bồi thẩm đoàn họ sẽ được tôi đối xử một cách rất là công minh và sẽ thông cảm với họ. Cho nên đó là lý do mà tôi nghĩ là tôi sẽ phải học những chuyện đó, nhưng mà đó là chuyện mà sẽ học được. Cho nên tới kỳ 2021 là mới bầu cử là cô Ngọc Diệu ha. 2022 gonna be the election.
22 or 21?
22. June of 2022 is June 7th is the last day of voting. The voting will actually start in May of 2022.
Last question. People say the private attorney make a lot of money. Judge don't make that much money. Why you want to become a judge?
I never got into this field for the money. The reward of being able to give back to this wonderful community. The ability to say I'm an immigrant who came to this country not knowing how to speak a word of English. I got to spend 25 years in court representing the people of the state of California, and I'm going to work hard to get on the bench so I can be a fair judge to everybody who walks into that courtroom. It's not about money. It's about giving back to this wonderful community that gave me so much.
Điểm cuối cùng anh khẳng định là không phải vấn đề tiền bạc, tại làm judge không có nhiều tiền, nhưng mà cái chính là nếu mà anh muốn kiếm tiền nhiều hơn thì ra làm ngoài. Chắc chắn với kinh nghiệm của anh ra ngoài kiếm việc rất là dễ. Cái vấn đề là muốn phục vụ cộng đồng, và cái phục vụ cộng đồng ở đây là một người mà di dân qua đây mang cái sự kinh nghiệm sống của mình qua, đó là cái chuyện mà một niềm vinh dự đối với lại anh Baytieh.
Vâng, cảm ơn luật sư Đỗ Phủ và thank you for being here today, and I'm sure that when you become a judge you'll be a great judge.
Come on, thank you so much for having me here. I'm very privileged to be here. Thank you.
Cảm ơn sự theo dõi của quý vị và hẹn gặp lại quý vị trong lần sau cũng vào giờ này. Xin chào tạm biệt quý vị.